topic is data mining.
Yes.
The floor is yours. Let's do some mining.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Good day. It's an honor to be here. Guys, so today I will be talking about some down-to-earth stuff, something which will enable you to get to the same level of innovation which was Martin talking about this morning in his very exciting talk about innovation and the future. But to be able to get there, you need to get some things done within your corporations to make sure that your business processes are run in the right way. So I'll start my slides. So the big data process mining, what is it? Oh. Excuse me. So we all know that it's a commonplace. It's a cliche to say that you need to have efficient business processes to run your company. Because the way you run your business processes directly affects your margin. And the fact that the customer satisfaction is directly influenced by the quality and the speed of your business processes is a very important thing, and you also understand that. And to be able to provide, to get new services and new products on the marketplace, you will need to have an infrastructure from your processes which allows you to be agile as possible and to be ready for creating a real, true digital enterprise. By the fact that that is so important, still makes business process management very much difficult to manage. Maybe even some people remember that we have Mr. Hammer, who in the 1970s of the last century introduced the thing which was called business process reengineering, trying to re-engineer the processes to manage them in such a way which will allow companies to become agile. So it's been almost 50 years from that point, and we're still struggle to get inefficiencies out of your business processes, to find the root causes of inefficiencies, to find the root cause for manual interventions and rework activities, and to be able to provide truly compelling customer experience. The reason why it has been so difficult is that the companies were lacking true transparency within their business processes about how they're actually being run. So you have like something which is a more formal thing, how you design your business processes, but another thing is how they actually run in the system. Another thing is that the processes are dynamic in their nature. So you will need to have a constant overview of what is happening within the business processes as a company evolves and how they are being changed. So up till now, the tools which were available in the marketplace were just too fragmented, too expensive, or too slow to be able to fight with this particular challenge. And today I will show you, I will not just do slides, but I will also show you the demo, which will give you some kind of overview what the system actually does and how it provides you 100% transparency in your business processes. And I'm not exaggerating, it's really 100% transparency. So we are talking here about the SAP process mining by Slovenija product. What is it? It's an analytical tool which allows you to get into the details of how you run your company with every single business process, be it procure to pay, order to cash, accounting, utilities, IT service management, what else. The other thing which is important to note is that it's a tool which is 100% HANA certified. It gets its information from the HANA raw tables, and therefore it utilizes the HANA's, the power and speed of HANA in its own application. And last but not least, and I think the most compelling thing of this whole thing is that it's very much intuitive to work with. Even a child can quickly understand how much garbage or inefficiency a company might have in a simple process like P2P. So I will show it later on to you in a demo, but to be able to to grasp the high-level understanding of what is a process mining, we have this slide. So where does process mining start? We utilize the fact that everything you do within your company leaves some kind of digital trace. It might be in a database, in some kind of activity log, or some kind of other logbooks, either from SAP system or non-SAP systems. So these logs are being extracted from your satellite system, from the sources, and together with a data model which is designed by the data scientist, plus the algorithms by Slovenija for process mining, it will create some kind of visual overview of what is happening, which will allow you to get into decision-making mode regarding rework activities, efficiency, throughput time, bottlenecks, and so forth. On the slides, it doesn't look like very much exciting, but it's maybe you see later how exactly it works and how easy it is to get this information in front of any decision maker, be it the data scientist or the CEO level. So let me quickly start my system to get to the demo stuff. So you see here that I have a couple of opportunities to show you a demo. I'll start with a P2P thing. So it gets its data from HANA right now. So you see, yeah, I cannot highlight. I hope you guys can see everything. But so we're talking about here, let me reset the selections, because we're playing with this tool yesterday with my colleagues. So we are talking about a company which has about 279,000 PO items with almost 540 million value in it. So in the process itself, you can see it down here. So it's quite simple. Purchase requisition item is requested, PO is created, then the goods are order sent to the vendor, the goods are received, and the client and this company pays for the goods. So it's simple, and you see that this process has not been modeled in any way. So what you see here, it's extracted from the actual data flow within your particular systems, be it SAP or non-SAP. So, but you can also see what's interesting is that it concerns only 39% of the variances. You can see it below here, over there. And it's just the first most common variant of how you run your business process, which is P2P. So we can increase the number of variants by clicking on the variant button. Like, for example, let's do it 2 times. And you see that something else happens. So we have 3 variants of how you run your business process. The number of cases covers now 66% of all instances of that particular process within your system. And you see that, for example, the variant number 3, it's a change in price. So the change in price occurs more than 37,000 times in your company. Is it much? Is it little? If it would be a couple of thousand, I would be okay. But if it concerns 37,000, and you would say, okay, let's calculate how much money or manpower you're losing on it. That's almost, in a year, it's almost 150 cases every day. So you will have to have like 6 or 7 FTEs just to do everyday price change. That's not very much exciting work as compared to the future which was depicted by Martin this morning. So probably you need to find what's all about. Why do we have this kind of price change? The tool will also allow you to get into the the animation mode of how this process looks like and why we have this price change and so forth. So let's keep it for a while, and we go to the next variant, which is reveal something else. For example, we see that in almost 90% of all the cases, the process starts with scanning the invoice. So what it means, that somebody within your company calls a vendor and orders something, gets the invoice, and only then it goes to the procurement department. This is what we call the maverick buying, when people are, actually the company is losing money because the employees within the company are not utilizing the procurement department. And I'm not talking about the compliance issues it might have, but in 90% of all the cases, 90,000 of all the cases, you have this maverick buying thing, which might be very expensive to you. And I'll show you later an example of how much value actually a company might be losing on that. So that's the thing. We are not going through the 564 variants in this particular case, but this concerns the real data from a specific company. I'll just increase the number of variants to 100%. And you see how your P2P process looks like. So this is almost 564 variants, and this is what the process P2P looks like in a company. So this reveals huge inefficiency in your P2P process, and the way in each of those variants you lose either money, time, margins, or customer satisfaction. So if you go back a little bit to the fourth case to see, okay, I want to understand exactly how much delay we have with the process like change in price. So I can click on this little button here, and choose not a number of cases when it occurs, but like a throughput time. And you see it adapts real time. So in this particular case, the KPI, which is the process flow through, increases by 9 days only. So probably it's more than just 20 minutes of person's work, it's much more than that. So you will have like, only for this particular case, your flow through is increased by 9 days. So we have been looking at some kind of explorative view of the whole situation. We can go into the analysis mode and see, okay, let's look at this Maverick buying case example. In a situation where somebody within a company buys without going through the procurement department of that client. So we have this situation, we can analyze it more, so we're looking at this one. And what we can do, we can select this particular variant and say, okay, we want to look at all the variances with this particular connection. So as you see here, we have almost 19,000 cases of this process variant, which start with scanning the invoice. And you can see immediately that it concerns that the most Maverick buying cases occur in September and October. So we can select on those, and you see that it's adapted real time. You can also see, for example, that the purchasing organization in which these things are happening is located in Germany, so we can click on this little ring, pie chart, so it's selected. And now we can also look, okay, here are the vendors with whom we work, and which have this which are involved in this Maverick buying thing. And you can say, okay, let's look at the number of PO items we have with a particular vendor, or let's look at the value, for example. You can choose, like, what you want to see, like, maybe value. So, and you see that the CEB Barcelona, let's take it. So they sold you for 12 million, and they have the most cases with Maverick buying. Now, the good thing about this all being on HANA is that you can directly drill down to the particular cases with Maverick buying, with the German purchasing organization, and with CEB Barcelona by looking at details. So you have here the line items within your SAP or non-SAP system, which shows who bought what from CEB Barcelona in Germany without complying with, without connecting with the purchasing department from the beginning. And that's something which allows you to get to the detail of specific compliance issues, inefficiency issues straight away, without waiting for a long Excel tables, presentations, waiting for the investment committee to come up and discuss this whole thing. So this is all real time. And as your company grows and develops and gets more business, this thing works real time. It connects directly to the data tables within HANA and extracts the data as if it was already presented for it. So another thing which also might be very interesting for you guys to look at, so let's reset the selections and look at the solution which does the following. So you can compare either two different companies or two departments within our organization, or in cases where you have, for example, you're buying a new company, you want to compare how they run their processes and how we run. So you can concentrate your efforts in streamlining those business processes on those items which differ the most. And for example, we have this company with a company code 1000, and we have here a company code 300, and we see that both companies are more or less in the same category. Only company R300 has 272 variants with 40% coverage in the most common right variant, while company with the code 1000 has only 37% discount. So the conclusion which lies for the end is that this company R300 is a little bit more standardized. And you can, again, you can drill down, zoom in on specific processes or variants of processes and see what is happening. And not just to find somebody to blame, but maybe people who are working with specific process did not have enough information or training to manage this kind of process. So you can directly spot inefficiencies within your process or the throughput time, detect bottlenecks, and get to the root cause of it without, so you can take some measures to do this. And the Slovenija solution also have something which is more exciting, connects with the machine learning stuff. Unfortunately, it's not in a demo yet. It's something they are providing already, but it's not not for you to show today. It will allow a company to do some kind of as-if scenarios to make sure that if you want, for example, to deliver some product or some project for a client, the system will tell you with which vendors you should work to ensure that you will deliver according to the time, quality, and other KPI specifications. And you know, this stuff which you see on the screen, it can be created in a matter of minutes. It's not like it's a long development. A data scientist, which has a training like of 4 days, can create these components on this sheet of paper or on any of this, on this analysis. All these blocks which you see can be directly put on from the library and create any view with the KPIs, with the process flow and the throughput times in a couple of days for the top management or for any other business process owner who is in charge of that particular process. That's a very agile, I think, and a powerful tool to unravel the mysteries of what is actually happening within the business processes, so it becomes transparent. So the SAP already allowed you to run simple, and with this software, you're not just running simple, you run transparent, because you need to be transparent to run simple. So any questions on this particular demo I can show, because I will now jump to the next slides and the video, a little small video from the customer reference. Okay, guys, if you don't have any questions now, we can talk later during today's party or something. So, yeah, that's kind of not easy to guess. I'm working particularly with the telecom industry in the region MEE, but we also have the solution for every customer for every industry, excuse me. And these are already the customers who already engaged with this particular software and have implemented a variety of business processes to become more transparent. We can run also now a quick reference video from a client, Vodafone. So guys, if I take control of the presentation, we can start.
By delivering services to more than 430 million customers globally, Vodafone is at the heart of a telecommunication market which is subject to short innovation cycles. That means that also our back-end processes like procure-to-pay need to keep up with the fast change and need to be flexible, adopting the customer needs.
Well, Vodafone has a long history of transformation, not only transforming itself, but also transforming the society.
Our processes, tools, systems, technologies change very often, and the biggest challenge is to cope with that innovation and that change which is happening in the marketplace.
As we are processing more than 800,000 purchase orders a year, there is a big need to understand the business in detail.
So the ideal world looks perfect. In reality, we have variations, we have non-compliance, we have workaround, we have all type of reasons why the as-is process is different from the to-be process.
One of the main challenges that we have now is really make the data speak to us.
We have good KPI reportings in place. So on a high level, we have a very good understanding on how performant Vodafone and in particular SCM is.
I'm convinced that the process mining approach helps us to better explain the KPIs and the reports and not just showing in which directions the one or other figure is running, but also providing some background information why those figures are developing in this or that direction.
The tool we have selected, Celonis Process Mining, is enabled by HANA technology, sitting on our core SAP infrastructure. You see in a very strong and powerful user interface which number of transactions go through the actual process and where you have variations and what is driving them and what is making them up.
A view which you can also sell to the management, which you can easily explain to the management much faster than using Excel, Access or BI or what kind of other opportunities we had in the past.
It has to be real time, otherwise the value is not there if you don't know it immediately.
We were able now to move South Africa from a very poor paid-on-time statistics to a world-class number, which is a great success.
I think Celonis gives us faster go-to-market in a way. If I look at a particular leg of a transaction or a process going wrong, then we can take immediate action there and plug that particular element quicker.
I genuinely believe this is going to change the way that we work in Vodafone.
The Vodafone will benefit from process mining in the way to keep in the race for being world-class in terms of efficiency and effectiveness across all our internal processes.
Yeah, thank you. So guys, I was planning to show you some mind-blowing figures on the savings this particular client got on this, but I don't have any time anymore, so I can show you later on in the canteen or outside. So SAP allows you not only to run simple, but also efficient and transparent, and that's really the case now. So you can do amazing stuff once you get this architecture in place. Thank you very much. Voila.